got in trouble in class for saying something really mean to another student, right? And the teacher says, I want you to go over there and I want you to apologize. And so he goes up to the other little boy and he says, I am really sorry for calling you stupid. I just thought you already knew. We tend to get sensitive, and the feeler tends to go first. The feeler has what we call a bypass, okay? So emotion can go first in any situation. And that mechanism, God designed it to keep us alive, okay? So if we're in danger and we feel fear, the feeler can bypass any other system and it can create hormones and just different things that make us, we need to run, we need to go faster, we need to do better, and it just bypassed everything else. It doesn't even need to consult with the thinker. And oftentimes, the decider is overwhelmed with, what you're feeling, okay? So it just bypassed every other process. And so something's about to hit you, you move out of the way. Eve is suddenly feeling defensive. And then she answers because she is feeling smart. She knows the information. She was watching, what is the name of that show? The gossip lady. Wendy Williams. She was watching Wendy Williams, and she knows exactly what happened because that is the truth. She read it on the internet somewhere, and she knows exactly what God said. She's confident. Of course God didn't say that. I can see Eve swing her hair and put her head up. God didn't say that. Why are you angry? The Lord asked Cain. Why do you look so dejected? You will be accepted if you do what is right. If you do what is right, you will be accepted. But if you refuse to do what is right, then watch out. Sin is crouching at the door, eager to control you. Eager to control you. But you must subdue it and be its master. So we have this emotion that's bypassing. And sin, oftentimes, is holding hands with our emotion. Think about it. Sometimes you have love, right? And quickly, you take love and it turns to lust. And then lust turns to action, which is sin, right? Sometimes you have joy, right? And joy can quickly turn into overindulgence. And emotion in a lot of people's lives, especially in America, is in control. I'll say it again. Emotion is in control. Before you think, your emotion has already bypassed. Before you get all the evidence, your emotion has already done its work. Because the emotion fills up that gap and it doesn't really let thought go through. It doesn't even ask questions. And it forces your decider to make a decision based on ignorance. And emotion is in control. And oftentimes, we fall into addiction based on emotion. How many people have ever been bored and decided to eat something? You weren't hungry. You didn't even ask yourself, well, am I hungry? No. You just had emotion. And I'm guilty of it too. Pastor talked about that restaurant that we went to. They're bringing all these meats out. And at some point, you have decided that you are full. I don't want any more meat. I'm good. And then the waiter comes out and he's like, oh, I have this prime rib right here. And you look at it and it's like, oh, wow, that prime rib Looks really good. Now, there's this card that you have. There's this card that you have that says, you know what? I don't want to eat any more meat. And you've already made the decision to flip that card over to red, saying, don't come and offer me anything more, right? But you're sitting at a table, and maybe there's one person who doesn't have their card flipped over. So the waiter is going to come over, and they're going to say, we have this prime rib. And then somebody else gets it and on their plate, and as it's on a skewer. And so they put the skewer down, and they cut, and they slice it, and you wipe off your mouth a little bit. And I was full in my body. My brain understands that I'm full, but emotion bypassed all of that and said, you know what, let me flip this card over. Matter of fact, I'm not going to flip the card over, and I am just going to speak. I'll take a little bit of that, please. Now, the waiter's not going to argue with you. The waiter's going to be like, oh, no. You're already full. You flipped your card over. I can't give you any. They're not going to do that. They're just going to come over, and they're going to give it to you. It's kind of like the devil. We got to stop going to that restaurant. I'm going to go one more time.